One thing we must teach our children, try as much as possible to instill it in them, is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a virtue, and the earlier they understood the importance of forgiveness, the better. To create a sane society, we must do that as parents, instill the spirit of forgiveness in our kids and our words. When I saw this report, the first thing that came to mind was the goals that this girl had. Then, then again, I realized that she doesn't have the spirit of forgiveness. A 16-year-old girl has been sentenced to life imprisonment after being found guilty of culpable homicide, punishable under Section 221 of the Penal Code. The girl, Miss Joy Afekafe, was convicted for causing the death of Dr. Mrs. Fumilayo Sherifat Adefoaolu, a lecturer at the Federal University of Technology, FUT, Mina, Niger State, on 28 October 2023 at her Waiko residence. Presiding over the case, Justice Mohammed Adeshitu Mohammed of Mina High Court, Number 4, ruled that the prosecution had successfully proved the charges of armed robbery and culpable homicide against the teenager. According to the principal state counsel in the Office of the Attorney General of Niger State, the two count charges of armed robbery and culpable homicide are punishable under Section 221 and 298 of the Penal Code. Joy Afekefe had served as a housemaid to the late Dr. Adefoaolu from 2nd October 2023. She was introduced to the household by her pastor, her then pastor, Pastor Ojo Peters of the Voice of Mercy Church in Mina, which both the deceased and Joy's mother attended. While staying at the residence, Joy reportedly began to steal properties, foreign currencies, which prompted her boss, Dr. Adefoaolu, to dismiss her from her role. Following her dismissal, the underage teenage girl enlisted the help of two of her friends identified as DJ Wallace and DJ Smart to retaliate. In a statement to the officers of the Homicide Squad, State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department, SCIDD, Niger State Police Command, the convict detailed how her accomplices, who remain at large, stabbed the deceased multiple times with knives as the victim tried as much as possible to defend herself with a stool, but they overpowered her and seized the stool and used it to struck her on her head, leading to her immediate death. The attackers then stole her laptop, stole her phones and some foreign currencies from her bedroom. Delivering the judgment, which lasted for over 2 hours, Justice Mohammed stated that the prosecution had established both charges against the defendant beyond reasonable doubt. He ruled on the whole and for all the reasons that in his judgment, I hold that the prosecution was able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Dr. Mrs. Fumilayo Sherifat Adeolu is now dead. That the death of Dr. Mrs. Fumilayo Sherifat Adeolu was caused by the convict with her friends, now at large, when they used knives to stab her multiple times and a wooden chair with the intention to end her life. From the evidence before me, I am satisfied that the prosecution has proved the offenses of culpable homicide punishable with death and armed robbery against the convicts. Justice Mohammed noted that based on the convict's statement to the SCIID made on 3rd November 2023 and her testimony in court, she was 14 years old at the time of the offense. He added, although she is now 16 years old, by the provisions of Section 221 of the Penal Code, Laws of Niger State, in 1989, whosoever is found guilty of culpable homicide, punishable with death, shall be sentenced to death by a method prescribed at the trial. However, where the convict is less than 18 years old at the time of the offense, a sentence of death shall not be pronounced or recorded. Instead, the court shall sentence the person to life custodial or to such other terms. He subsequently sentenced her to life in a custodial center for culpable homicide and 10 years for armed robbery. But if she had understood the importance of forgiveness, she wouldn't have wanted to retaliate, no matter what the boss might have done to her or no matter how the boss might have treated her. As long as you still have your life back, you just move ahead. You were dismissed from your job, for Christ's sake, not your life. You just move ahead. So I believe she does not understand the importance of forgiveness. That's why she went to invite her friends, who is now at large. They couldn't find them, so she's the one bearing all the consequences now. At 16, you've been sentenced to life imprisonment. Thank you for staying tuned to True Crime Stories by True Crime Beats. Please do well to subscribe to my channel, like, share, and comment.